Hello.
Hello.
How's everybody doing? Well, according to my clock, it's 6:45. So maybe we should start. So we could take just a moment to rejoice that we've come here together to try our best to follow our teacher's advice, and that by familiarizing ourselves with calm abiding, perhaps we will be able to actually realize calm abiding and conjoin that with special insight, and then along with bodhicitta, be able to put all that together so we can become enlightened for the benefit of all beings. So even this small effort of 15 minutes this evening can plant the seeds for enlightenment. So that's pretty amazing. So, any questions? No? Anything in particular that people would like to review? Okay. Well, then why don't we start with everyone's favorite. What is the definition for sinking an excited mind? Let's start with gross sinking.
Losing the object?
That's close. So that's actually gross excited. And so let's jump to that one. For gross excited, if we lose the object, how is it in particular that we lose it?
We can't focus on it?
It's true. We don't focus on it, right. And I'm sorry.
We're drawn to an object to which we're attached.
Exactly, right. So we lose the object because we're thinking of something that we're attached, to which we're attached. Exactly. And so while we're on excited, how about subtle excited mind?
Is that when we are like focusing on the object, but we've got other stuff going on, like we're at the flea market or making our to-do lists?
That's exactly it, right? You don't lose it completely. It's like your mind's divided. That's perfect, Neely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go back to the gross sinking then. What's that one like? Okay, when we talk about sinking mind, there are kind of three things that we usually talk about. There's the steadiness, the stability, the clarity, and then the force or the brightness. Okay, so of those three, which two apply to a gross sinking mind?
No clarity.
Exactly. So it's stable or steady, but it's unclear, right? And so what happens with a subtle sinking mind?
You have stability and clarity. However, the strength of the clarity is weak. It's not strong.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, and so what is the cause of a sinking mind?
Sluggishness.
Excellent.
Kind of like I am right now.
And what's the cause of an excited mind?
You ready?
Isn't the cause attachment?
Exactly. Right. Yep. Okay, excellent. Well done on the definitions. So why don't we go back to the faults and the antidotes? How many faults are there?
5.
Right. And how many antidotes?
8.
Okay, very good. And what's the first fault?
Forgetting the instructions.
Oh, that's close, Julie. That is definitely one of the faults, but it's not the first one.
Laziness.
Laziness.
Exactly, right. Because first we have to overcome the laziness before we can even notice whether we're remembering or forgetting the instructions. So, okay, so with laziness, how many antidotes are there?
4.
Excellent. So Geshe has been talking about these 4 in lots of different ways lately, even when he's not just talking about laziness, just FYI. And so can anybody name one of the 4 or bonus points for all of them?
Faith in the benefits.
Exactly. And once you've got that, then what comes next?
Interest.
Exactly. And then?
Enthusiasm. Go team.
Right. And so after you've got those 3, what comes next?
Pliancy.
Introspection.
Pliancy.
Yep. And so pliancy. And so the idea is that that's the result, right? Because when Geshe's been talking about it lately, he's been saying the first 3, right? That you have faith in the benefits that cause you to have some interest. So then you're going to have enthusiasm and then you'll get the result. And in this case, pliancy is the result, right? When we're talking about calm abiding. So, perfect. Okay. So that's laziness. And then which one comes next, Julie?
After enthusiasm and pliancy is mindfulness.
So I'm asking about the faults after
Oh, the
laziness.
faults. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No, that's
somewhere
okay. Yeah, that's okay.
else. Laziness to attachment to mundane activities.
Right. I just called on you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot just because you had said it before. The fault that comes after laziness is
Forgetting the instruction.
Forgetting that. Oh, that's too funny.
I'm sorry, Julie. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
no,
I apologize for that.
I'm good. I'm kind of all over the place like everyone else, but I'm good. Yes, forgetting
Okay.
it, laziness, and discouragement and self-contempt, something like that.
Yeah, so we have laziness as the first fault, and then the 4 antidotes to that, which we just covered. And then we have the next fault is forgetting the instructions. And who knows the antidote for that one?
Remembering the instructions.
Which we call?
Mindfulness.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Okay. And so then the next fault is actually a twofer.
Thinking an excited mind.
Exactly. And the antidote there?
Introspection.
Introspection, right? And then the next fault? We got laziness, we got forgetting the instructions, we've got sinking in excitement.
Non-application
Right,
of instruction.
right. And the antidote for that?
Remembering, I would think remembering the instructions.
Right, applying the antidote, yeah, right. And so the final fault?
I know this one. This is Barbara.
Hello, Barbara.
Over application.
That's right. And what's the antidote for that?
Calm your butt down.
Also known as equanimity.
That's right. Yeah, just don't do anything. If you're smooth sailing, just keep smooth sailing, right? Okay, so just to review, laziness, forgetting the instructions, sinking in excitement, non-application of the antidote, and over-application of the antidote. Those are the 5 faults. So the antidotes for laziness are faith in the benefits, interest, enthusiasm, and pliancy. For forgetting the instruction, it's mindfulness. For sinking in excitement, it's introspection. For non-application, it's application. And for over-application, it's equanimity. So excellent. That is wonderful. Okay, so you might recall that there were 3 root texts that Geshe talked about in the beginning. How many authors of those 3 root texts?
2.
2, and who are they?
Maitreya and Asanga.
Yes, excellent. Okay. All right. So let's move on then to the 9 stages. So can anybody name all 9? And if that's too hard, just start with the first one.
Inner placement. continual placement, patchy placement, close placement, subdued placement, pacifying, complete pacification, becoming single-pointed, and meditative stabilization.
Excellent. You get a gold star, Joanna.
Right, right there.
Well done. Well done. Okay, fantastic. So how many powers cover these 9 stages?
You remember? We're whispering.
6 powers.
6 powers, right. And what's the first power?
Knowledge.
By hearing.
Right. Yep, the power of knowledge from hearing. What's the second power?
Power of contemplation,
Yep. And next?
Mindfulness.
mindfulness, and introspection.
Right. So those are the next 2. And then the next 2, there's 2 more.
Joyful effort.
Joyful effort, right, and familiarization.
Exactly. Well done. So power of knowledge from hearing, the power of contemplation, power of mindfulness, power of introspection, power of joyful effort, and the power of familiarization. So that first one, the power of knowledge from hearing, how many stages does that one apply to?
The first stage.
It's the first stage.
Exactly. And how about for power of contemplation?
I think that's just the second stage.
That's right. How about the power of mindfulness?
Third and fourth.
Stage.
3 and 4. Yeah, that's right. And how about power of introspection?
5 and
6.
Yep, 5 and 6. And the power of joyful effort?
7 and 8.
Right, 7 and 8. So power of familiarization is
9.
for the last stage, right?
Power.
Fantastic. Okay, so how about the mental engagements? How many of those are there?
4.
4, exactly. So what's the first one?
tight
Right,
focus.
There you go.
Type focus, right? And then which one comes next?
Interrupted focus.
Yeah, interrupted focus. And then next after that?
Uninterrupted focus.
Right. And what's the final one?
Effortless engagement.
Well done. Okay, so that first one, tight focus, how many stages does that apply to?
2.
2.
That's right, the first 2. And then the interrupted focus, how long does that go on?
5 stages.
5.
That's right. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah. Okay, and then which one applies to stage 8?
Uninterrupted focus.
Right? So then the final one again is called?
Effortless engagement.
Engagement.
Right, and that's for stage 9. So this is fantastic. You all are getting to the point where it seems as though you've got it memorized. So, okay, so my question is, as I understand it, Donna, this is the last class for a couple weeks, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if is Geshe intending us to continue review when we come back? Do you know?
I don't know. I will ask him.
Okay, well, we'll find out. If he does want us to review, then I think the next review session that we have, whenever that would be, we can talk about if you all want to do more meditation as opposed to this quizzing stuff. You know, if we're starting to get it memorized, then maybe we could do meditation together. So anyway, we can talk about what would be of most interest to people at the next session. If there's a next session. So Donna will find out. So we've got literally like 1 minute maybe until Geshe will come. So is there any question or comment from anybody?
I really appreciate you leading us in this and encouraging us. It really does help a lot. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the effort that you all put in because that's the main point, and that's what, you know, Geshe is asking for. So I'm grateful for the participation and the effort. So, yay.
Yay.
I think it's soaking into Bodhi's head too. Where is she?
Hey, Bodhi.
Poor Bodhi.
He's fine. He's got his favorite toys here. He has no problems.
I'd like to know if it's Denise's birthday.
Oh, no, I'm just in the room where we store that balloon.
So I was just remembering this quote from Lama Atisha, where he said, while the conditions for calm abiding are incomplete, meditative stabilization will not be accomplished even if one meditates strenuously for thousands of years. And, Geshe quoted that several times in the beginning, just to emphasize that the reason why it's so important that we really learn these instructions is so that when we're putting in effort, it's actually going to take us where we're aiming, as opposed to taking us somewhere else. So just as encouragement for the effort that you all are putting in, there really is a reason more than just passing the quiz, that it really is, because then we'll get where we want to go. So.
I know so many people that have given up on meditating because they try and they just can't at first and they give up.
Sure. Yeah.
So these are excellent to help guide them.
And some of us have done that more than once. Not naming names.
Well, and that's the thing. Go ahead, Lamala, please.
Geshe told me that, you should meditate, at least once a day, even if you just for a few minutes, once a day, whatever, however long, just to put one drop in the bucket so it doesn't get dry. So even if you sort of given up on it or you think you've given up on it, if you could just do it for, even if it's just a minute once a day, that's good. So don't give up.
That's a
Thanks,
great point,
Lamala.
Lamala. Yeah. And there's nothing that does not become easier with familiarization, according to Master Shantideva. So.
I've actually said if you can get used to beer, you can get used to meditation.
Okay, well, maybe we could just then sit quietly for a couple of minutes until Geshe arrives, unless there's anything else. Okay, thanks everyone.
Here's Geshe.
Can you hear?
Yes. Okay, there you are.
Oh, so Ramasi, every Wednesday link is the same thing?
Yes.
Oh, then you don't need to say it again. Sorry, Ninja.
Okay, no worries.
I already had, so not just being mindful. Oh. Yeah, good evening, Lamula.
Good evening, Geshe.
Good evening, Nili. All bundled up. Good evening, Bodhisattva Patrick.
Evening, Geshe.
Because of Patrick, I end up saying Bodhisattva every Wednesday night. How much positive karma I create. Bodhisattva Patrick. Joanna,
Good evening.
good evening. Chukila, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, Geshe.
Oh, good evening, Julia. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening, Geshe.
Miss. Good evening, Alex.
Gelek.
There's, good evening, Sandra. Good evening, Tim.
Good evening, Geshe.
Good evening, Tom. Good evening, Panditji Pati. Good evening, David. Good evening, Susie. Good evening, Elise. Good evening,
Good evening.
Laura. Good evening, Helen. Good evening, Julie. Good evening, William. Good evening, two beings on the couch. Can't really see well.
It's David and Karen, Geshe.
Oh, David and Karen. Oh, looks like that. You are in the.
It's
You
warm
are,
down here.
you are in the nail salon.
We're sitting downstairs where it's warm.
Oh, okay, very good. Can tell because yeah, alhamdulillah. So we start with the prayers, okay? Anybody watching on YouTube, all of anybody watching, then good evening too.
Start with the 7 limb prayer.
Oh yeah.
Gosam gu pegone chalo nyasham yitu chati malupu tomene saditun tam cheshak kepagewanam la sheirang Korwa matom badule june Dola cheki kolo korwadang Dajengenon chanchu chen poengo. Now the mandala offering. Aji perki yushin metog tam La che basho jetsu lama dampa kenam kichu ukala kense chujinchi jita tsampe duje ziman la shab kecheki charpawab tusa idam guru ratamadalakam niryatayami.
Sanje choda soje chonam na chanjo padon dane jago dage chushen jebe sonam je andola peje sanje sanje choda soje chonam na chanjo padon dage chushen jebe sonam je Sanje choda soje chonam na chanjo padon dane jago dage chushen jebe sonam je andola peje sanje sanje choda soje chonam na chanjo padon dane jago dage chushen jebe sonam je andola peje sanje 니들 시와서는 구신이지 시점제 관련다 로라 편바치나 랍진이지 지대템도 제바 가다야다 대배도 나나바 군데 나조데 좀반데 자조 선배서 자사제 친내인자라 자자 관계 대제 대바조 가바메바 쳔메바 쳔바메바 따메바 호메바 만다된데면데 쳔바니 예세데 조배가 만남자 담바다나 자자 관계 두제니 소냐 또 관계 관계 담배 주네 베베 고담대나 저체 Lamrim, would you mind to recite what is the mantras 21 times, please, together? What is the mantra? Rangi Chigo on top of your crown, on top of your crown. Maybe it's not the best time to do the visualization. End of the day, but we try, okay, end of the day. But not the best time to do the visualization. Rangi Chigo, you're on your crown, on your head, Rangi Chigo. On top of your crown, visualize a form of light, okay, form of light. So I will guide so you can just visualize, okay. Rangi Chigo, Dhamma, on top of your crown, visualize lotus. On top of the lotus, visualize mundis. Visual top of the moon, just visualize white from like very bright, shining home. So that home become white Vajra. So that white Vajra become a Buddha Vajra Sattva. You can visualize so single Vajrasattva, or you can visualize Vajrasattva with concert. Right hand holding Vajra, left hand holding bell. So adorned with precious jewel ornament, jewel ornament. Sitting with a full Vajra cross, leg, full Vajra cross. A bright white light emitted from the heart of Buddha Vajrasattva. The very light that emerges from Buddha Vajrasattva heart invite or attract all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from the 10 directions, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Dharma protector, deities from the all directions, okay? So then the central heart of the Buddha Vajrasattva, there's a moon disk, center of the moon disk, white letter, bright white letter, very bright white letter Hum surrounded by 100-syllable mantra. Again, no. Again, light emitted, bright white light emitted from the Hum and mantra. Emit from the Hum and mantra. Observe all the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from the 10 directions back to the mantra and the Hum. Nectar flow down from the mantra and the center of the Hum and the surrounding 100-syllable mantra. Nectar flows through your crown, purify all the sicknesses, mental difficulties, disturbing thought, or physical problems, completely purify. So the last visualizations, nectar flowing, constantly flowing from the 100-syllable mantras from the Buddha Vajras, the hearts, and going through your crown chakras, then constantly purify all the sicknesses or disturbing thought. Please maintain that visualization while we are reciting the mantra. Oh yeah.
So the verse of praise.
If you don't know the longer version of the Buddha Vajras, the mantra, you can just say Om Vajra Sattva Hum. You can just recite the short one, okay? Oh yeah,
Merely thinking of just your name eradicates all obstacles and immediately purifies all negative karma. Thus do you unsurpassed Vajra Sattva, I make prostration. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Tishtadido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarvasiddhi Meprayacha Sarva Karma Tutsame Chitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ahahaha Ho Bhagavana Sarva Tathagata Vajre mame mucha vaja bawa maha samaya sato ahum pe vaja sato samaya manupalaya vaja sato tenopa tishta dido me bawa suto kayo me bawa supo kayo me bawa anurakto me bawa sarva siddhi me prayacha sarva karma tutsame chitam shriyam kuruhum Ahahaha ho bhagavana sarva tathagata vajre mame mucha vaja bawa maha samaya sato ahum te om vajra sato samaya manupalaya vaja sato tenopa tishta dido me bawa suto kayo me bawa supo kayo me bawa anurakto me bawa sarva siddhi me prayacha sarva karma tutsame chitam shriyam kuruhum ahahaha ho bhagavana sarva tatakata vajremame muchai vasha pava mahasamaya sato ahum pe om vaja sato samaya manupalaya vasha sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava sato kayo me bhava supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava sarva siddhi me prayacha sarva karma tutta me chitam shriyam kuruhum ahahaha ho bhagavana sarva tathagata vajrema me muchai vasha pava mahasamaya sato ahum pe om vasha sato samaya manupalaya vasha sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava, supo kayo me bhava, anurakto me bhava, sarva siddhi me prayach, sarva karma tutta me chitam shriyam kuruhum, ahahaha ho bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajrema me muchai vasha pava mahasamaya, sato ahum pe om vaja sato samaya manupalaya, Vasha sato tenopa tishtorido me bhava, suto kayo me bhava, supo kayo me bhava, anurakto me bhava, sarva siddhi me prayacha, sarva karma tutta me chitam shriyam kuruhum, ahahaha ho bhagavano sarva tathagata, vajrema me muchai vasha pava mahasamaya, sato ahum pe Om Vajra Sato Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sato Tenopa Tishto Dido Me Bhava
Sodokayo me bhava.
Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayach Sarva Karma Tutta Me Chitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ahahaha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrema Vajra Pamaha Samaya Sato Ahumpe Om Vajra Sasa
Madhupavaya Vajasana, Tinopatra, Sudokayo, Subokayo, Anorato, Savasa, Mangavana, Savata, Bedama, Vajar Bama, Samaya Sada, Om Vajar Sato, Samaya Malupava, Anorato, Mepa, Savasa. Bedama, Bedama. Vajarama, Vajarama. Sudokayo, Mema, Sumokayo. Mangavana, Savata, Sato Samaya.
Om Vajra Sato Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sato Tenopa Tishto Dido Me Bhava Sudokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayach Sarva Karma Tutta Me Chitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ahahaha Ho Bhagavana Sarva Tathagata Ajrema me muncha vasha bawa maha samaya sato ahum pe.
Oh yeah, so now again, Lamando Jisemba Gongsu Sos. Please pay attention to me, Buddha Vacha Sada, please pay attention to me. Dage Tume Tune, Sabeti. Whatever negative karma I created since from beginningless time, so purify all of them right now. Buddha Vaja Sadhava delightfully accept your request. Buddha Vaja Sadhava dissolve from your crown. Dissolve from your crown. Again, the light emitted from the heart of the Buddha Vajrasattva will be the same from your heart too, because it already dissolved into your heart. Light again emitted from there. So then the light touch all breathing living beings, the light that's very light that's emitting from your heart, from the Buddha Vajrasattva heart, your heart. So then the light touch each and every single breathing living beings, purify all their negative karmas, physical difficulties, physical problems, disturbance, completely purifies. So then you help them to liberate it, completely be liberated. Completely be liberated. So then rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Oh yeah, wonderful, very good. Very good. Time to rejoice. Very good. Oh yeah. Very good. So now back to the three types of morality, Buddhist morality. So now we are the last one. The first one, ethical discipline of restraining, ethical discipline of restraining, that's the first one. The second one, ethical discipline of gathering virtues. No? Ethical discipline of gathering virtues. So now the last one, ethical discipline of benefiting sentient beings. What is called Chugila?
Yeah, of acting for the welfare of living beings.
Ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of other beings,
Yeah, of living beings.
of living beings.
I mean, there's lots of translations. That's the one in Lamrim Chenmo.
Not the tomato beings, ethical living beings.
The ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings.
Living beings. So by the way, tomato is excluded. Tomato beings excluded. Ethical discipline of, one more time, ethical discipline of
acting for the welfare of living beings.
Where's the word morality or ethics?
The ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings.
Okay, so for the sake of knowledge, okay, oh yeah. So, acting.
Yeah, acting for the welfare of living beings. In Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand, they say the ethic of working for the sake of sentient beings.
Benefiting. Simje Tuenches, benefiting or working for the welfare of sentient beings. Simje Tuenches. The sentient being has body and mind. So now think about how to benefit. There's a way to physically benefit, so like offering food, offering like company, offering, there's no the offering for five senses. One way to benefit, one that then you are working for the well-being of other sentient beings. That's one way to do. Probably not the best way. The best way is to helping their mind. That's the best way to do. So they're not just helping this life, they're helping many more life in the future, helping the mind. What do you mean helping mind? If someone's mind is well-trained, well-tamed, then no need to help. So need to train the mind. For example, it's like fruit. If it's raw, you can enjoy. So you need to when it gets ripened, so then being can enjoy the fruit. Similarly, when the mind is being fully ripened, beings benefited from that. The very being that mind is ripening, he or she, so from there, the many beings get benefited. Mind, tools means tame or train. In order to train my own mind, I should study six perfections. I should reflect on the six perfections. I should integrate the six practice of six paramita or practice of six perfections. I should integrate in my day-to-day life. So there's the way to train your own mind. So then based on the six perfection or practice of six perfections, you can do the same thing to train other people's mind. But this doing move she, so I'm looking at the dictionary, but I'm not really satisfied with the translation here. But let me read you. Four means of conversion. Four means of conversions. Chukula, you found the translations?
Yes, Geshe, the four means for gathering disciples.
That sounds a little bit better than four means of conversions. Conversions, I'm not sure. Conversion, that sounds good.
I think gathering disciples is better.
Gathering disciples. So then probably you wonder again how I'm going to do this practice. You may think I'm not in the position to gather disciples. So the word disciple has been mentioned, but it does not refer only to the disciples. It doesn't refer only to the disciples. Gathering beings to help their mind, basically, even though they don't become your disciples, that's another point. Don't worry. If they don't become your disciples, there's no point. Point is to share your Dharma knowledge, share your Dharma experience. So gathering others. So making others to become close to you. Not by preaching. So like, minute you meet someone, do you know 3 jewels? That's probably not best way of gathering others. But that's not the best way to train other people's mind. Do you know 6 parameter? I probably have no clue. Even though whatever you're asking something important, that's probably not the best way to gather. So to gather people around you. Somebody doing gardening all the time, and you see that person, then you say, wow, wonderful, very good. So that what you're doing is very good. You're taking care of the flowers. The people, when they see the flower, when your garden blooms, people walking by your garden, they enjoying seeing your flowers, or you create so much merit by doing that. Oh no, this is a completely waste of time. Why you do gardening? Why you don't go inside house, recite money mantra? Probably it's not the skillful way of gatherings. So like so so here's a giving whatever is necessary. First one is the core jimba, giving whatever is necessary. So I think somehow that like charity work. So the church, they are very famous doing charity work. Kind of create the conditions to share your teachings. but it needs to be done sincerely, genuinely, not like a charity work, try with some agenda. It's not like that. So it's a kind of method. It's kind of method to train, to help other people mentally. So usually mentally means the spirituality is the best way to help other beings mentally. Spirituality is the best way to help. Then that leads back to the first paramita, or first out of 6 perfections, the first one is generosity. Or coajimbas, whatever, giving whatever is necessary. So whatever the word is kind of strong, but like giving. So that's called 4 means of gathering. It does say disciple, but doesn't have to be disciple. It can be. They might become your disciple. Who knows? How to say, but gathering. And then speaking pleasantly, speaking pleasantly, speaking pleasantly. Somebody is coming to the center, so then trying to help the altar. They make some mistake on the altar. People shouldn't freak out. People shouldn't freak out. So somebody need to approach very gently. Why? Because need to approach very gently, because your action might disturb other person's mind. It's not good. It's not good. Any circumstance disturbing other people's mind is not good. So that's why you approach very gently. If somebody is making a mistake, then you say it's okay. It's not a big deal. So it can be fixed. Don't need to be shouted. Don't need to be screamed. Don't need to be disciplined. So they are not doing that purposely. Purposely, they don't know. So speaking pleasantly. So that create the conditions. That person might, like in near future, that person might willing to listen to you, what you have to say about spiritual practice, because you're being kind, you're being so sweet, you're being kind, you're being very gentle. People like to be around with those type of people, being kind, being gentle. So there's a second. Seconds, 4 means of gathering. There's a second, number second. Gathering. Tene gozo dadi koa jimba nyamba mo tuen bas. It's not just you telling somebody else to do. The third one, it just says, here it says like helping other is more than that. It's like, how is it? Was no. So the Chukula, you read the translation, what they say. I was just kind of curious about how they translate.
Yeah, I saw a couple translations that don't exactly say the same thing. So one was teaching to the level of the students.
You have to report us all the people who are saying those different things. We can track them down. We can track them down and ask. Yeah, yeah.
Then another one was working for their benefit. And then the third one was working at the aims.
There's two translations.
Three. Teaching to the level of the student is the first one. The second one was working for their benefit.
You are reading the translation of the third one, right? Third point?
Yes, these are three translations for the third point.
Oh, yeah. So
the last one is working.
In America, you have to have choice. So you have choice now, three choice. It's up to you which one you choose. So that's very, I think it's quite gathering. So gathering. So I think that's probably that some of the good ideas, like charity, doing a lot of charity work, but unfortunately tied with it has some kind of agenda. So then it has to be pure. It's right from the beginning. It has to be pure. Just want to help. That's all. It's not to convert from here to there. There's no any kind of agenda. Right from the beginning, is just to benefit. That's all. Just to benefit. Decisions is up to them. Whatever they decide is up to them. You just help them. That's all. So then the third one. That's the third one. The first one is called Koa Jimba, Nyamba Mawa, Tentimba. So then Tenchoba, last one.
The fourth one is practicing what you preach.
Walk the talk, Much as possible, Not just talk. Just talking probably will not much benefit, just talking. Walk much as possible throughout the day, much as possible. Walk. You being like what that means? That means you are like you are giving, and you are saying kind word. Means saying kind word means not judging. Not judging at all. Not judging. If they are gardening, something nice thing to say. Cooking, something nice to say. Going on a vacation, nice to say. Like that, So if you are doing that by yourself, so then you can say to other people to do. Like at least some work, then zero work, and just talk. But that's not good. So that's the last one. So then this you can do the same. Actually, generally speaking, sixth perfection is to train your mind. So this is now 4 means of gatherings to train other people's mind. That's how these two practices have been divided. But you can combine that with the six perfections. You can combine your study, you are thinking about six perfections, you are engaging within the six perfections. So then, helping other people, likewise, you're helping yourself. So this, probably refers to many things. It doesn't have to be just six perfections and the 4 means of gathering. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be anything that helps your mind. More likely it will help somebody else's mind. So something like that, or to develop positive mindset. Okay, so in India, William, the cat, what is the name of the cat? Is a cat?
Yes, it's Donald.
Donald.
The cat, Donald.
Uh, there's one dog called, I'm not sure it's around or not around, Miss Pinky, back in the monastery. Miss Pinky, so given by Stephanie Smith from Qatar, remember. So when you come there, now, what's the name?
Donald, like Donald Trump.
Oh, Donald, yeah. Well, next time when you go to India or Nepal, maybe if you go to somebody's home, so their pet might have name. When you there's dogs everywhere, so when you ask, what's the name? It is called dog. If it's dog, it's called dog. There's no name. so that's why. So that's what happened. So then probably, I think Julie was there too. Julie was there. So yeah, Julie, in this particular Julie, did so many charity work for the dogs. So every morning, so they bring a lot of boiled eggs. So dog had feast while Julie was in the monastery. So dog has feast.
Oh.
Yeah, feast. So yeah, and here in the West much better. So giving something to dog for animals, not animals to. Yeah, so I think even among animals, so some they create some positive karma to own by some kind, Western people, so treat them like more than like, animals. So somehow they created the karma, somehow they created karma to be around with the owner who's, very compassionate, very kind.
Mm-hmm.
So this karma thing is kind of complex, so there's someone also them like treated like human, like putting into the strollers when you go around the parks, you think there's some, looks like there's 2 years stick out. So there's like, so sometimes I wonder like, you've been treated like human, but you're not human. If something went wrong, you did probably create so much karma, maybe dedications is not there. So then, so anyway, so, sorry, there's like that conversation from the Donald here. So lead all the way back to the monastery. So, so dogs, anyway. Oh yeah, so these are the 4 means of gathering. So there's the last 4 means of gatherings. Is 4 means of gathering. That practice is the last type of moralities. Last type of moralities, you practice based on those 4 things. Okay, last like ethical discipline of acting for the well-being of all mother sentient beings. So that's like then this 4 means of gathering comes in. So these are the practice that you do. Okay. All right, so now all the Bodhisattvas did summarize into 6 perfections. 6 perfections summarized into 3 types of Bodhisattva moralities for the second knowledge. For the second knowledge. Oh. So, so practicing 3 types of moralities, in a way, you are practicing Bodhisattva deed. Even though there may be thousands of them, you are practicing Bodhisattva deed. Entire Buddha's teaching summarized into Lamrim. So when you're studying Lamrim, it's the equivalent of studying entire Buddha's teaching. Similarly, practicing 3 types of Bodhisattva morality is practicing 6 perfections. Top of that, practicing all the Bodhisattva deed or you are engaging into all the Buddhist thought, because you are someone who is very much inspired by bodhicitta, or very much inspired by altruistic attitude. It's a wonderful thing to have. Once you develop altruistic attitude, what you do, so then now you engage into the practice that benefit directly, indirectly benefited other sentient beings. Okay. Oh. So that now conclude. That kind of concludes now 3 types of moralities. It's kind of complete now, 3 types of moralities. So then the next topic that Dhamma that people requested on. Remember by heart?
Yes, Geshe, the next topic was renunciation.
Oh, yeah. So now, if you have some questions, so we have some discussions. Other than that, now today's class is finished.
I have a question. It's Susie. What is the third one? I don't think I have the correct translation.
Chugila.
The third of the 4 means, Susie, or the third of the 3 types of morality?
The third of the 4 means of gathering disciples.
I'm not sure which one Geshe prefers, working for their benefit, working for the benefit of others. I don't know. Teaching to the level of the student?
I leave the choice up to you.
Well, I'm not sure I understand exactly what it means, Geshe, because each of these 3 things are kind of saying something different, and so I don't know which one is correct.
Oh, so please can you repeat this one by one? So I will pay attention.
Yeah, one is teaching to the level of the student, which means, knowing their mind and teaching to that level. The second one is working for their benefit. So working to benefit the student. And then the third one is working at the aims, and that's in Lamrim Chenmo, and that's talking about sort of working to help bring them to the Dharma.
Oh, that one's better.
Okay,
so working at the aims maybe is the better one.
It's AIMS. AIMS.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, working for the aims, because no Dharma, there's no questions. Dharma has ability to train our mind. Lamrim Lamrim definitely will lead us all the way to enlightenment. There's no questions. There's no questions. No questions. So Dharma, when it's come down to people, so then make mistake here, mistake there. Nothing to blame on Dharma. Dharma is pure right from the beginning. No, Dharma is true. It is true, Dharma will change. Dharma will change the mind. So there's no questions. It's 100% sure Dharma will change the mind. People, therefore, you remember practice of 4 reliance. Does that ring any bell? Yeah, I already explained. So does that ring any bells? Don't rely on a person, rely on the teachings. Remember that? Teaching is not corrupted. Teaching itself is not corrupted right from the beginning. It's pure. Teaching is not corrupted. Person could become corrupted by disturbing thought. But teaching is teaching. Water in the glass. It's the same water. When it's in the glass, it's the same thing. When you pour into the brass cup, this container is different. What goes inside, the same thing. You're just transferring from glass to the brass cup to the silver cup to the golden cup, gold cup. That's the same thing. Piece of stone. You grab Pastor Lamla. There's different between person who's holding this piece of stone, said probably written like hope, nice looking stone. So then somebody passed, I hold my experience, my life story, my experience, my understanding is different. But the very stone, very rock, piece of rock that you hold is the same thing. Then you hand it to Hamula. So then you hand it to Chukila, then you hand it to the other then. But maybe that stone was held by Lama Tsongkhapa. Handed to me, there's differences between me and Lama Tsongkhapa. But the stone that touched by Lama Tsongkhapa, the stone that touched by me, the same thing, so there's no difference, same thing. Like that. Teaching is like the teaching is same. Right from the beginning, it's not corrupted, it's pure. So that's why it will change, it will train people's mind. So that's the aim. That helps the mind. Giving whatever is necessary helps physical happiness. Offering to 5 senses. Yeah, happiness generated by looking, happiness generated by laughing, happiness generated by touching, happiness generated by hugging. Different happiness. Happiness generated by smelling something wonderful. Happiness generated by touching something soft. Happiness generated by hearing something wonderful. Happiness generated by tasting chocolate chip cookie from a Whole Food. Even though it doesn't last long, it is still happiness. Depending on object. So then happiness generated by thinking depend on that, not depending on the physical object. So that happiness you could have wherever you go, because it's not dependent on object, it's dependent on your thinking. So you can have that. If you're living in the cave, you can have that. If you're living in the mansion, you can have that. If you're like walking in the wood, you can have that. So that better one. Okay. So aim here is Dharma is teaching. Is a teaching. So doesn't mean working very hard to convert them into Buddhism. That's not the goal. That's not the aim. That's not the aim. Aim is to train their mind, to make them better human beings, kinder, more compassionate, or more loving. Then mission accomplished. So it's not, the goal is not. So there, I think there's something probably got twisted maybe, or the aim maybe conversion. No, that's not the aim. Not every single person will become Buddhist. That's the fact. There's nothing you can do. Never happened in the Buddha's lifetime. It never happened. When Buddha was teaching in India, it doesn't happen. How is it going to happen now? You have just become narrow-minded. It requires causes and conditions to become interest into Buddha's teaching. You really need karma. Basically, you need karma. It won't just happen like that. Won't just happen like that. No, you need karma. Okay? Oh yeah. So then, what else? Good question, Susie. Good question. Yeah. Didn't anything else? Hmm? Mm. So now next time need to share. You need to share your knowledge about three types of morality. If somebody asks, then you need to explain. So then it's going to be practice of generosity. One of the best practice of generosity. You are giving teachings. You are giving them dharma. At least they have some imprint. So that's important. Okay. So what else? I think that's all. So then we close the class. We finish class here. So then most of you, thank you very much coming. Almost every Wednesday night you come in. So very happy to see all of you again. Oh. So then next Wednesday, Tomasi, class or no class?
No class next Wednesday and no class the following Wednesday.
How's our Sunday? There's Sunday, there's next Sunday, there's class.
Coming Sunday, we have class, but the Sunday after that, which is December 27, we do not have class.
Okay. So this will be temporarily, maybe like next 2 Wednesdays, there's no class. So enjoy the break. Enjoy the break. Oh, yeah. So Sunday, then we'll see again. So then, yeah, very good. Okay. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful night, all of you.
Geshe.
Yeah, Namula, maybe dedication.
Saji perki shushing method tam di shi ni degen padi sange du Miktewa Idokundam Dak Shingla Chepashok Chetsuname Kutseraptem Shinam Kajile Chochugyepadam Lo San Tempe Remesasum Ido Wemunsa Tautu Neguchi Idam Guru Ratamandalaka Niryatayami. Now the dedication prayers. Gewadinu duda lama Ganshu Sanchorin Poche Make Ponam Ke Guchi Kewanyam Pa Me Payam Gone Gondu Pelwa Sho Jampel Pawo Jita Kempadam Kuru Zampo Deyande Shinte Deda Kungi Jesu Dalochu Kewa Didan Tancherap Tungo Tusen Shepe Gewa Tancheki Noa Gala Choduna Pade Dashe Gewe Tawadi Kunkyang Sampo Cheturap Tungo Wadi Dagi ne sape gewati tendan doa kun la gampedang kepa jetson lo sanda pei tempe nimporin du sel shisho. Ganrira we kowe shinkam du pendan dewa malu shungwene chenre zigwan tenzing yatsoi shape site baju tengu chi. Jonu ia nalang wa shotu awatare tsembara sopa losan gewe de ton lek pao shok yasho gengyo lama sowa de tup su chan jin jang gen gewe dancing kebewe kunze do poze Choksum kurwele muntudu padok soduje kundu shapten sho Migmetse wete chen chen resik rime kempe Wampo Jampeyang Gong Chen Kepe Zugen Zong Kapa Lo Sanda Pe Jabla Soare tare tu re so ha. 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 Tare tu re so ha.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, Oya.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Gracias, Geshe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Geshe. Good night.
Oh yeah, good night.
Good night.